After spending the last 3 months fishing in the UK, it was time for another public lake adventure. This time, a lake that we'd been told held some mega carp and was relatively left alone. A 400-acre reservoir with arms and shallow bays at every corner and surrounded by picturesque countryside. With 4 nights ahead of us, we hoped we could begin to scratch the surface of this awesome lake. Welcome to paradise. This place is incredible and I'm absolutely buzzing for this trip. We came first thing this morning. Henry did the long drive, so thanks to him for that. I was the passenger and we made it to the lake at the crack of dawn. We've never been here before. We've heard about it through someone, but we don't know the fish stock or anything about it. So a proper adventure and exactly the thing that me and Henry get up for. So we looked around the lake, we figured out where the night areas were. There's places where you can fish only in the daytime. And we tried to sort of find carp. It's a very big lake, probably on 400 acres. And obviously location is the most important thing. So we sat on the dam wall for a little bit, looked around there. The more you look at the water, the more you think you're seeing something. Was that one at 400 yards?
Is that a little linear? Was that linear at 400 yards? Flopped out.
And then we sat in sort of the main point of the lake to try and just watch and see if anything showed, and it seemed pretty bleak. And up till about 8 o'clock we'd seen no carp whatsoever, and then all of a sudden we saw one potential carp show, and that's the swim we decided to set up in. We can see the majority of the lake. Henry's decided to fish the left side, so he's got a bay to his left and he's fishing out to a really cool spot like a pontoon, and I'm fishing a really nice marginal spot on the right and then just in open water in front of us. Now we're not necessarily confident we're going to catch anything, but we're in a good zone. We can watch the rest of the lake, see where the carp is showing, and it's just so lovely to be out. We've got loads of nice food of us, 4 nights ahead of us. What's the target, Henry?
50 pounder.
Henry's saying 50 pounder, but there's carp over 60 pound in here. From the little bit of knowledge we have got is there's a couple of 60 pounders. We don't know how many carp or anything like that. So a proper adventure. The rods are out now. We're gonna have some dinner, and you never know, maybe a big public carp on the first night. Come on, the carp.
Let's do it, come on!
Just see one in that white water, just, wouldn't you?
Silhouetted against the orange sunset.
As the sun began to set and the day came to a close, we took in our first evening on the lake, watching the water, just hoping to see signs of carp. Oh, fish up. Oh, that's a bream if I've ever heard one, innit? Oh, yeah, that's a bream. Oh, the bream's done me. Oh, that's annoying that. Everything was out perfect.
You love a bream.
Time for a 20mm boilie or 24mm, I reckon. Full moon tonight. Big carp on the cards. Switch this over to a 20mm hard bottom bait and a 15mm topper. It's still not completely bream proof, but I'm hoping it's going to hold them off at least for a little while until the carp show up. Look how calm the lake is. Absolutely flat calm, like a mill pond. Oh, that went down with a donk. Perfect. Now I know there's bream in the area, I've got to give them a load of bait. Make sure there's something left for the carp. With the rods out for the night, we sat back, had some dinner, and got our heads down. Well, that was a bit of an anti-climax, wasn't it?
It was, but I kind of felt like we weren't going to catch, to be fair.
Really?
Really cold, wasn't it?
Freezing.
Freezing.
When I re-dropped them rods this morning, all that mist, it felt like about 2 degrees.
I think those little fish are a big problem. So we need to change the bait.
Tigers.
Tigers and just big boilies.
Yeah.
Like 24mm, but even on the hook bait, just tigers.
Yeah.
Because they're just pecking away at it.
I agree.
I think give it one more day here.
Give it one more night, yeah?
One more night, then move on to the baited spots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I've not mentioned this. So yesterday, before we got rods out in this swim, we did actually go round the lake. Both of us split off. I went right down the arm to my right and Henry went down the second arm to his left. And we actually pre-baited some other spots just in case this happened and we couldn't see any carp or find any. So we've got an area to move to after a 48-hour blank, and it's looking like that's a possibility. So we'll do tonight like Henry said, and if we've not caught, we'll move over. We'll split up and look for clues.
Yeah, come on.
Right, update, no fish, and Henry's out driving around the lake, pre-baiting areas, not checked his battery, and it's actually dead.
Had a battery catastrophe.
So I've had to come and save him.
My hero. Thankfully I've got a solar panel, so I'm going to charge this one up, but yeah, it's so embarrassing being saved by Jacob Work. I can't believe.
Why are you being disrespectful? I'll cut that rope and let you drift around, mate. After saving Henry from almost certain death, we made a trip to the van to grab some bigger boilies. We added 20 millers in both monster shrimp and scopex squid, and then a jar of both whole tigers and tiger nut slush. So this bit's like a really shallow bay, and I've managed to find quite a lot of weed here, and then just off the bottom of the shelf, again about 5.5 to 6 foot, the weed stops and the bottom's actually really firm, almost like gravelly. So I've dropped a H block, again I'm going to bait up, and this is a spot I will be fishing. It's just round the corner, but I've got a single bank stick over there. My second spot was out in open water, targeting the deeper main bowl. That way we felt we had a good chunk of the lake covered. Henry also went out to re-drop his rods. This pontoon with boats tied against it was one of the only features on the lake, so we really felt like it was an area that the carp would frequently visit. It was so nice to be out enjoying the warm weather, swimming in the lake, and of course Henry had to go and ruin it. Somehow, someone's cracked off pike fishing, and the pike and the lure has swam into my line and is now just suspended down the line, look. That's mad. Come on. Oh, it's come off. It just fell off. Right as I got there, look. The rod went back out and the rest of the day flew by. We still hadn't seen a single show, and if I'm honest, we were starting to get a little worried. Yeah, we're in. Oh my god. Whew. I can't, but how random was that?
I just said to you it was going to go in a minute.
We actually got a bite, mate. Absolute screamer and all, wasn't it? Oh, it's just come off. No, it hasn't. Oh no. Oh, it's come off. No, right there, mate. What is going on? No.
He's got the lead. How's he not got the lead?
I don't know. All that, mate. Say, the clip's is right on the end, look.
Oh.
Oh. No. As gutted as I was, at least there was fish in the area. So I got the rig sorted and went back out to the spot. Let's have one more, come on. Hopefully that's a sign that fish are starting to find the bait and get on it. Isn't it lovely weather, mate?
This is absolutely peeing it down. We're cuddled up in your bivvy, like living in our own filth. Like, we didn't bring rubbish bags, there's rubbish over there, covered in mud, lost one.
At 4 AM this morning, devastated, bruv. And I felt it come off just as we got right out to it.
When you picture French trips, this is not what you picture.
No, man, it could have been so sick as well.
Oh, no, look, we're still going to catch.
We've still got 3 nights. We're still going to catch a 50-pounder. After a pike angler had managed to cast over Henry's line and snag it with his lure, we really thought it couldn't get any worse. Until out of the blue, my rod ripped off. Henry's just about to move, and I've just had an absolute rip on that same rod. Come on. Coming with me?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. No way. Henry's just about to reel in, and the same rod I had a bite on last night or early this morning just started melting, didn't it? And we were standing there just zzz, and we were like, I'm in!
I can't believe it.
I'm in! No way,
Get
mate.
in there.
Imagine it's a tench. It's not a carp, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It looks common.
that's bloody tiny, mate. It's about £8. How have we managed that? It's a carp though. A bite to bite, all the same, but it's not the £60
It's really not
public lake monster we'd hoped for, but it's a good sign. That's 2 bites now. Come on, mate. Yes. Ah, that's a relief. That's a relief. And that's 2 bites on that spot now in the last sort of 7-8 hours, so let's keep this going. Henry's going to move the other side of the lake, split off. Hopefully the next one is a big beast. Off you go, mate. First carp is always an important one. Before Henry ventured off, I quickly made a trip down to the bay on my right, just to top the spot up with bait. Although I'd had a couple of bites now, it's nice on a big lake like this to have multiple options. You act like I didn't see that. You dropping your toothbrush in the mud. And I know for a fact that you won't even wash that, will you? Just give it a scrub, that'll be alright.
Fine. Your mouth will clean it.
You off your head, didn't you? Is that you done and dusted?
Yeah. Could be making a mistake if you've had that fish.
Nah, I think you've made a good choice here. Henry's going to go off round the back side into a big bay. He's pretty much covered the bay to the left, and we've covered open water, so he's going to go off down that way. If I don't catch anything tonight, I'm going down that bay there. So we're covering everything here. Big old move.
Big move, innit? I hope I've got enough battery.
Make sure you try and film it if you catch one.
Yeah, cue shaky GoPro footage.
I think Henry jinxed it, because the only thing that came on cue was the storm clouds the moment he'd set out across the lake. Luckily for him, it passed over in no time, and he was able to safely make it into his new swim. As the evening approached, I decided to get back out in the boat and re-drop my rods. I've decided to put a H-block down just because it's got a lot windier now, and I've had 2 bites off this spot. I want to make sure that I'm really accurate because I feel like I could capitalise and really build up a bit of a hit over here. So I've dropped the H-block a few rod lengths behind the spot, and now I know when I come out, no matter how windy it is and how much I'm being towed around, I know that I'm fishing on the baited area. Perfect, really good drop. This side wind is savage. I'm literally trying to get over there and I'm driving the boat almost directly into the wind and I'm just being pushed sideways. Brutal conditions. Oh yes. I guess this is the positive with Henry leaving. I've got all the food to myself. Chicken pasta, proper. Rods are out there, all done. All's left to do: sunbathe and feed my face. Lovely times. That's what it's all about. Oh. Yes. Don't know if this is a carp though. Bit of a weird bite. I come out slowly, couple of bleeps, then it started taking line. I don't think this is a carp, so I'm not going out in the boat. It took loads of line and then it stopped, and then the bobbin was sort of bobbing around, and then you saw as I walked over to the rod it started taking line again, so I think it's probably a tench. Oh look. Oh. 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 Oh my god. Wakey wakey. It is a carp. Come on, be a big carp. Be a big carp. What are you? It's a big common. No way. No way. That whole time. It's not as big as I first thought it was, but it's still a better one. Look at the size of the mouth on it. Come on. Yes! Get in! Ah. Bit of a morning update. Nothing else in the night, which is pretty surprising to be honest. Had that fish in the early hours, I think it's about 2-3 a.m, which I'm going to get out in a minute and show you. It's not a monster, but a nice sort of, I reckon, mid-20 common, which is obviously a better fish considering the first one was about £12. Henry's not caught anything over there. He seemed pretty gutted this morning when he texted me. He said, "Oh, I've had nothing, mate." So he's going to come back over here at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It seems silly for me to move to the damn wall and then for Henry to kind of be lost and not know where to go. So I'm going to try and tick off a couple more fish in this open water area. Even if it's 1 or 2 more bites and one of them's a big one, I'll be satisfied. And Henry's going to go and fish the baited areas down by the damn wall from tonight. So that's the plan of action. Got my scrambled egg. You've got to eat your eggs in the morning. But yeah, come on, let's have a big one in the next couple of nights. Look at that, look. All them tiger nuts. See what they're eating, isn't it? Well, it's not the French public lake monster, but it is a proper carp. Over £20 for sure. Pristine one, and a nice surprise. When I brought it in about 200 metres thinking it was a bream and it started stripping me, I was pretty excited. Hopefully we can get one twice the size of this. However, I'm not complaining. It's a tricky lake and it's really nice to get off the mark. Bonjour. Right, it's that sort of midday time where not a great deal happens, apart from a little paddle. The water's super warm. Yeah, bit of paddling, bit of sunbathing, figuring out the plan of action. So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about the type of setup that I use for these big public lake adventures. Last year was the first time that I ever went away and did this style of fishing. Big lakes, boats, your own private islands. But yeah, it's definitely a step up from the style of fishing that I was used to in previous years. So let's talk about the gear. In terms of rods, I actually use the same rods that I would use for my compact sort of urban adventures, 10-foot Black Ops scopes. Now, they really are, in my opinion, the most versatile rod you can get, because you see they've got 50mm rings, so they cast really far, and they're really rigid, so great for fishing at distance if you're casting from the bank. So I use them in the UK, fishing up to about 110, maybe even 120 yards if you're fishing singles. Really nice finish, just an all-round sick rod. I couple that with a GT 8000 reel. Again, those I can use in the UK, or I can use on these big missions. If I'm fishing really far, they've got such a deep spool, so they accommodate every style of angling. And then of course I've got R4 alarms with the swinger arms, which if you're fishing at distance with braid, the indication's so much better than bobbins. So yeah, that's the rod setup. Boat wise, I use the Nash 240 boat. Find that to be the perfect in between. And then for the rest of my setup, I use the Titan Hide Camo Pro in XL. Now, ever since I stepped up to the XL over the standard hide, I've never gone back. There's so much room. I've got a scope bed in there, 4-fold scope bed that sits right at the back of the bivvy, gives me loads of room at the front, my cooking equipment down there. You can even put your waders in there ready to jump out. But yeah, perfect bivvy, looks really nice, which isn't the most important thing. However, it's nice to have good quality equipment that looks good and it serves the purpose. So yeah, that's everything I use. Hopefully now I can put that to good use and catch a load of big carp. Look who it is.
No good.
It's back. Nothing to report.
Nothing, mate. It looks so good down there. Wind hacking in. Got them out nice. Nothing.
We put the solar panel up to get some more energy for the session ahead.
I'm doing your voiceover.
Is that my voiceover, is it?
Yeah.
We were so excited for the next 2 days, full of anticipation for what might happen.
So we put the solar power up, charged up the batteries, and bon voyage. With that, Henry set off once again to try and make it happen.
Tucked away on the end of the wind with the dam wall down there. I have 2 rods. Bloody hell, that bank looks a bit wonky in it. I'll fix that. I'm fishing towards the dam wall, and then don't know what I'll do with the other one. But yeah, that's the plan. Please, God, please give me a carp, and a big one. That's what we need.
You notice I'm actually driving out in the boat with the rod in my hand, and that's just because rather than reeling it in, I'm just coming out in the boat, making sure the H block's not moved. In this case, it has. Because there's so many anglers pike fishing out in boats and stuff, and canoers, they keep bringing my H blocks in or moving them, so I don't trust the H blocks in the right position. And look, you can tell there, my rig's here, my H block's over there. That is not how I dropped it. The H block has been moved from here. So I'm going to keep the rod where it is, move the H block into position, and then re-drop the rod. Once the H block was dropped, I changed the hook over and began spreading bait across the spot. Yeah. I just went out and re-dropped both my rods. And I was out in the middle of the lake and I was just thinking, surely one's going to show in a minute. You're on the red wine?
I'm not a big drinker anymore. I used to be in my rugby days, but I'm not anymore. And when I'm fishing, I hate drinking. But
You've really done the old bottle, you nutter.
I'd say this is one of 3 times in my life I drank by myself. I've got to say, pretty nice.
Yeah?
I'm sat here,
Peaceful, isn't it?
looking out the lake. I've got rods out. It's a beautiful, calm lake. I'm watching a kingfisher hunt to my right. I've got match of the day on. I'm cooking some paella. Life's good, man.
Isn't it? Life is good and we're not even catching. Imagine if we start catching 50-pounders.
Life would be amazing.
Right, I'm going to go, mate. It's dinner time for me. Give me a call if you get one, yeah?
Yes, same.
Good luck, mate. Nice one. Even though Henry's not caught anything, I know it's getting to him a little bit because we've looked forward to this trip for a long time now. Without catching, just being out here, warm weather, left alone, no one's coming to the swim the whole time. It feels like I've got my own little private swim here. It's super nice, being able to swim in the water and stuff. So yeah, all we genuinely need now to end this little adventure is a big carp. Just had a really weird bite. Kind of went beep and then just stopped. So I think whatever I've hooked fell off. Definitely a carp. No, that's devastating. Just literally out of nowhere. Whee! Stop. Don't know whether it's cut off on the muscles. Oh. Oh. All of a sudden I've just tightened in. Oh, I'm in, yes, yes. Oh, it's just swam towards me at pace. Yes, I'm in. Carp on. Carp on. What have we got? Oh, looks like a better one, that. Don't know how big, but certainly not 12 pound. I can't believe how far that fish had swam towards me. He saw me reeling for ages, just thinking it'd fallen off. Come on, what have we got? What have we got? Oh, it's a good one. 30 pounder. Come on. Oh. Are you done? Are you done? I can see the hook, bottom of the lip. I don't think that's coming out. Big rubbery mouth. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. Ah. God, when I tell you that is a result, I don't think you understand. Oh, that's a good one. There we go. Just redoing the rod. I thought I'd briefly talk to you about the rig that I'm using. It's a rig that I use pretty much everywhere. Slip D multi-combi. And the best thing about it is this, the ability to be able to change the hook without retying the whole rig. Super quick and easy. On this one I'm using an 8mm screw over the D section, and that means I can change the hook bait. As you've seen on this session, started off with small hook baits, then went over to snowmen, and even that wasn't repelling the bream, so I've switched over to the 3 tigers and a little bit of foam just to balance it out. Twist a long shank hook, I feel like it just hooks them a little bit further back. And I've got 25 pound Fluorolink as the boom section, which kicks out really well, resets and helps hook the fish, and then strip back 25 pound Skin Link, which just is really abrasion resistant but also supple enough to lift into the fish's mouth. And obviously that knot, the Albright knot, is covered over with some putty, and that rig sits absolutely perfectly. Big lead 10 ounce just to hold bottom, heavy duty lead clip, tail rubber, and then I've got a really flexible leader material there. As I'm using braid, I need a little bit of stretch in that, and it's dark matter so it sort of blends into the bottom, and that is the rig, and it's doing the job. Bang, perfect. That wind's picked up, absolutely smashing in. There's the prize, waiting for me. Henry's just going to come round in a little bit to do pictures. Can't believe Henry's not caught anything. I've just come off the phone to him. The wind is smashing down into that arm where he's fishing against the dam wall. He doesn't know what to do. I told him to stick it out down there. I think that you just never know. He could just pull it off and catch a bloody 60 pounder. One night left. You only need one night, don't you? That in the sling again. Tigers galore. Look at the mouth on it, mate. Crayfish mouth. Look, it's eating crays. Lots of mini cray. Look.
Oh yeah.
Coming out in the sling. Look. That's a proper carp. There we go. Finally, it's starting to pay off. It's not the French monster. It's no 50, 60 pounder, but it's a solid mid-30 at least. Really robust, well-proportioned fish. Big gob on it. And a nice surprise for me this morning when I reeled about 100 yards of line in thinking this had come off, and then I was in contact. All we can hope for now is a big one to end on and a fish for Henry, and that will make the trip. It's never easy. That's always the risk you take coming out to these big public lakes you know nothing about, but the rewards are there to be had. Thank you, mate. You're a trip maker for sure. As Henry set off, the weather took a turn for the worse. The wind picked up massively, which would make getting rods out almost impossible.
I mean, look at the waves crashing into the bloody bow. This is mad.
Despite being blown around in the wind, Henry eventually got his rods into position. Meanwhile, I was sat there relaxing until I was disturbed by a screaming alarm. Oh my god, absolute ripper! Oh my word. Straight in the boat, that's gone, took a lot of line. Hell of a lot of line. What have we got? Oh, pasty common. Oh, what are the odds of that? It's a good thing about the twister long shanks. Look, you can see he's hooked pretty far back. That was never coming off. With it only being a small one, I let it go straight away and then got the rod back out. Oh, that's close. Oh, I don't know, they've not done me there. Got lucky with that one, very lucky. This was it, the final night. As the evening came to a close, I just really hoped for one last opportunity. It's super windy and the wind's blowing in my face, so I'm going to play this one from the bank, seeing as though it's not doing much. It swam towards me a fair way, so unless it starts going mental, I'm just going to play it from here. There it is. Yeah, it's not, is it big? Oh, I don't know, that's quite big. It's a mirror. Oh, it's a big mirror. No way, that's big. Is that the biggest one yet? Go on. Go on. Yes! Oh, no way. That literally did not fight at all. Came in like a bream. I knew it was a carp, but I didn't think it was going to be big. I thought it was going to be a really sort of hollow 20-pound common at best. It's a proper old fish. Well, I'm very happy that we've ended on a carp. It's not been the easiest of trips. Well, saying that, it's been quite easy for me actually. I've just sat in the same swim the whole time and just sort of picked off the bites as the sessions unfolded. Henry, on the other hand, has been moving around the lake, grafting, and unfortunately he's not managed to catch one. But that's how fishing goes. If you caught every time, it wouldn't be any fun. Well,
no, it would have been a lot more fun. If I caught this trip, it would have been way more fun.
Yeah, I guess if you caught every time, it would actually be fun. But it's not called catching, it's called fishing. So the lows make the highs, and I'm just really happy that I've managed to not only end on a fish, but a mirror after a flurry of commons. That is super old, ancient fish. It's actually got really nice pecks, little rounded pecks, petal scales all over it. It's got no eye on either side, so completely blind, which probably explains why it came in like a bream the whole way in. Didn't know what was going on.
That one's still got its curtain in its mouth as well. For fish that's so old.
Yeah, they don't get caught a lot, I don't think.
No, wicked. Well done, man.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Let's get out.
Let's get home.